All righty, so I think we're recording now. So, how are you doing, Lucas?
Doing good, Emily. How are you?
Awesome, I'm great. I'm excited. So, I'm going to ask you the first question. So, what is your job?
What is my job? If there were only one job. Um, we're talking strictly filmmaking here, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
Um, so I'm a director and a cinematographer, but I also own a production company. So along with that means I'm producing a lot of different projects.
Mhm.
Um, Real quick, are you hearing all my notifications that are popping up?
No.
Because I'm getting bombarded by notifications. Let me
I know my alarm just went off. I'm like, oh,
notification. Okay, and you're not getting a reverb. You're not hearing.
nope.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna silence my phone at least. I don't know how to silence my computer notifications, but
I have no clue. How to do that.
all right. Sorry.
No problem.
What is my job?
Mhm.
So, my job for my production company is directing, cinematography, and a lot of producing. Those are the three main things, and it depends on what the job is, what the project is. I have a production company, so through that, I am involved in almost every aspect of production, from development to post production. But as a freelance, I'm also hired by different agencies to go just to direct a commercial or go just DP a film. So there's a lot of different things, but those are the three main titles I would say is director, cinematographer, and producer in the film world.
Awesome. So, what do you think is your favorite part about your job?
Well, the best thing about what we do, I think, is just the fact that it's never old. It's always new. You're always meeting new people. You're going to new places, new locations. There's new challenges every day to solve. I've always said it to my crew, and everybody knows me, knows that I say that filmmaking is just professional problem solving.
Mhm.
And you have challenges all the time, and not necessarily negative. It's all still fun, but I think that's what's exciting. It never gets old. I'm not always just sitting in a desk, in a cubicle. Not that there's things wrong with that. For some people that fills their cup, but I'm always out there. I can go to and go shoot in the desert, or we can go shoot on the beach. It's always different. So that I think that's what's most exciting about what I do.
Exactly. I love that there's never like a normal day of that job. Everything's always different. So speaking of fun, what was your favorite project to work on?
Oh, geez, I don't know that I can pinpoint a favorite project. So most of the work we do or that I do is narrative, features, TV, narrative commercials, and if I do music videos, usually they're narrative or I'm not that interested in them. So telling stories at the end of the day is what I like to do, and if it's a story I like to tell, off the top of my head, the first thing that comes to mind is a TV pilot that we shot about 2 years ago now. It's being pitched to Netflix and different people that I directed, co-directed, co-produced, and also did the cinematography for it. And
Wow.
that was just an incredible story, a real life story of actually a close friend of mine, and there was just a lot in that. And there was it's all about telling a story of coming from the darkness and finding redemption. And the story had a lot of bad abuse in the past, and drugs and addiction and even murder, and all that was really interesting to be able to tell a story of how that affects a human person and their condition, and how they move from that to the other side of it. So that's really what I like in terms of like specific projects. It's just always fun. I mean, one day I could be shooting, like we have a Kia commercial coming up next November, or this November,
Mhm.
and we're going to be doing some high end, really cool chasing camera shots,
Wow.
um, and then the next day I could be shooting um, just a corporate talking head, sort of like this. We
Oh,
sometimes we do something like that. So I don't know. It's just always exciting. I don't know that I can pinpoint specific project. I mean, we've done a lot of stunts, effects. In fact, we just last week did a commercial where we flipped a car.
Wow.
brought in a forklift, flipped a
Mhm.
car with a cameraman and an actor in the car, and completely flipped it over to shoot a car wreck scene. And so that was kind of fun. We had an ambulance and everything.
Wow.
Um, so I don't know. One thing about me is I'm not always thinking of the past. I'm trying to think forward. So I have bad memory. Did a lot of cool things, but I don't know. Stunts are always fun, but at the end of the day, for me, it's the stories that make me keep going.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Let's see. How have you been adjusting to work during COVID?
Without getting political,
Yes.
how have I adjusted with COVID? Well, COVID definitely destroyed the industry, as we know, and I think forever. Theater industry, for sure. I have a friend. I was just talking with him yesterday who owns several movie theaters, and it's just bankruptcy everywhere. That really will never recover. I don't think everything is changing from now on. So that'll be the interesting thing. In terms of specifically how it's affected, would be, I mean, everything got canceled and postponed and shut down in their first 2 months of it, 3 months maybe even. But soon after that, what we did as a company at Moai Films is we were able to quickly pivot to start doing live productions. So everyone is now doing like we are on Zoom right now. And there's so many physical events that had to be canceled and shut down. So we've been able to provide broadcast, live streaming type coverage for these events and do virtual events. So, for example, just 2 weeks ago, we had a big virtual event where we had uh, something that normally takes place physically as a big event in LA and is a big fundraiser where they raise millions. And we turned that all into a virtual event where we shot it, with a few people on a stage and live streamed it for 2 hours. And that was, everyone was nervous because how's that going to help? Is that really going to be the same as the live event? Ended up raising over 1 million for them. So that was really successful. So that's something that we've been able to do in terms of uh, keeping production going, is just transitioning to live and helping, in this case, more of the corporate world and event world with production.
Wow, that's amazing. To raise that much money, that's really awesome. Let's
Yeah.
see. Do you have any advice for people who want to make films?
Yeah. So it depends on what you want to do, but I imagine most people, when they say they want to make movies, they want to make films, they envision themselves as the director or the producer or the person in charge of the story. And in order to do all that, you really need to dive into every facet and understand as much as you can of every facet. If you want to be a director, you need to learn how, not just how to direct and your shots and all that, but how to actually be a leader to your entire crew, how to speak to them, how to lead them. You can't lead them without knowing what their position is. So you kind of need to learn all the positions for, to a certain extent, to really be a good leader, to be able to help and to be able to empower them to do their job. And if in terms of storytelling, I always tell people that editing is one of the best tools to learn, best processes to learn if you're wanting to learn how to create a story and craft a story, because that's what you learn. Go out and shoot stuff and edit yourself. Don't get someone else to edit it for you. Maybe later, like me, I'm not editing a lot of stuff myself because there's other things to do. But you need to be able to learn how to do that so that you can then direct the editor. And it teaches you how to shoot. It teaches you a lot, seeing all the mistakes that you made when you shot. So editing is a huge piece of just learning for the puzzle. Um, and again, just learning as much as you can about every piece of it, from cameras to acting, especially, and even audio, makeup, stunts. Like there's so much to learn. So if you want to make a movie, you want to be a complete filmmaker, you really want to be able to do all that.
Definitely. And I think editing is so important. Some people don't realize it, but there are so many things that you have to think about while you're filming in order to make the film itself make sense and all the shots go together. So that's a really cool point.
Yep.
So for the final question, what is something that most people don't know about you?
Oh geez, there's Google these days.
I know.
A lot. I'm from Chile. I'm from South America. I grew up there as a missionary kid for what, till I was 12 years old.
Mm. Mm.
Um, what else? I just bought a Yamaha dirt bike.
Nice.
What else? I'm a father of four. I have my wife and four kids. That's the most important part of
Mhm.
my life. But people usually know that. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
California.
What color is your dirt bike?
Well, it's a Yamaha. It's an old vintage 1974 Yamaha, and it's actually blue. So I
Nice.
happen to be
It's a good
wearing the shirt.
color.
I
Awesome.
didn't know how to ride a dirt bike until I saw that on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, I want to own that. So the next day I went and bought it, and I
Oh my
YouTubed how to ride a dirt bike and a motorcycle, and then I bought it, and not too hard after all.
God. Nice. I'd be terrified. I don't know how you do it, but that's awesome. But thank you so much for helping me and for doing this interview. It's been amazing.
Yeah, if you need anything else, just reach out.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good one, Emily.
Bye.